Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, I'm gonna introduce myself first, guys. My name is Muhammad Nur Fauzi Ismail with the number student name 24, 2020, and 46. And today, I'm gonna talk about what cultural differences between Eastern and Western country. So, the first one we're gonna talk about is what is culture. Nah, the culture itself is the total inheritance of ideas, belief, values, and some knowledge forms the everyday basis of society activities. It is also complemented by other words with similar meaning like custom, lifestyle, way of life, and society. So basically, culture is it's all about what happened in society that made by group of people or some of the people. And when we talk about culture, of course, in the different region, there was different cultures. Don't forget that. So that means we're gonna learn about cross culture. What is cross culture itself? The meaning of cross culture understanding is understanding the culture of target people so that we can reconstruct our attitudes and worldview. Consequently, we become more fluid and more generous toward the strange ways that may be sound by target of language people. So imagine there's any other difference culture between other regions and between one to another. Of course, there's also many different cultures that also made by the group of society. And there's some characteristic of culture, and I'm gonna mention three. The first one is learned behavior. Second is culture is abstract, and third is culture is shared by member of society. What is learned behavior? Sometimes the terms conscious learning and unconscious learning are used to describe the learning. Some behavior is obvious. People can be seen going to football games, eating with four, or driving automobile. So behavior is called over behavior. So culture is learn actually mean that you can actually learning by saying what other people are doing and what society can doing, and by what you are you saying is you can learn what they're doing. And that's what about the meaning of culture is learned. The second is culture is abstract. Culture exists in the mind or habits of the member of society. So definitely culture is shared ways of doing and thinking. There are degrees of visibility of cultural behavior ranging from person regularized activities to their internal result. Uh, the third one is culture is shared. The member of society share culture, the pattern of learned behavior and behavior research possess not only one or few people, but usually by a large portion. So imagine that in a group society, there some of the society doing dance, yeah, they dance, and that member of society sharing how to dance to another group or even to another person in that group, in that society group. So that's what I mean by culture is here. Next, move on move on to the next. I'm gonna talk about the some of element of culture. There's symbol, language, norm, and belief. The first one is symbol. Every culture is filled with symbol, of course. when you uh, want to say something like peace or something that bonds society together, you can use two finger like this. It is symbolized as a peace, and some of the other symbol might can be symbolized as a interpreted color, or and some of them might be dangerous to other people, or people might get discomfort or insulted by any other symbol, but some of them are. So basically, are things that stand for something else and that often evoke various reaction and emotion. So that's what I mean earlier. Some symbols are actually type of non-verbal communication, while other symbols are vague material object. So just like the peace symbol to finger is actually non-verbal, but if you want to search for the material symbol, you can look up on the religious symbol like in the Islam. You could find moon and Christian is symbolized Islam religion, or in the Christian uh, you could find cross as a Christian religion symbol. And the next is language. Language is crucial to communicate and thus to any society culture. Children itself learn language from their culture just as they learn about shaking hands, about gesture, and about the significance of the flag and other symbols. Next, there's values. Values is another important element of culture and involves judgment of what it is good or bad and desirable or undesirable. Culture values shape its norm. So value does mean that culture has something important inside it. That's what they mean by values. And moving to the next, there's norm. Norm is some of the aspect of culture that human live by. Standards set up to tell one right from wrong. Cultural norm are different from belief in that there are specific guidelines passed down from parents and elder rather than few other words that tends to be more philosophical in addition. Norm exists even on a small scale. So basically, uh, any other things that you gonna do, or what society tell you want to do, or what to dress, or what to act, or even what to think, that's called norm. And norm is such an important thing part of a culture. Why? Because it can bounce or identify such a group of playing society of it can lend toward human basic rights or and etc. Why is it such an important to learn that now you may be asked? Because uh, cultural awareness is such an important. When you go to another country and you don't know about what their culture, and then you might be get shocked and up overworked, or sometime you can get feel dizzy. You might be thinking it must be not right to sing what other people in other region did, but it's actually pretty normal for them for doing that thing. So that's why learning culture is pretty important for college student, or even by every people is. It is important to learn culture, culture's differences by any other region that group of society live in there. So you don't get shocked or terrified by other culture. Next, I'm now gonna talk about differences between Eastern and Western. first of all, is individualism versus collectivism. Individualism is a cultural framework that prioritizes personal independence, individual pride, and self-preservation. Meanwhile, collectivism, on the other hand, is a cultural orientation that emphasizes the needs, goal, and well-being of the group over individual. Now Let's let's see the differences between Indonesia, that which is in Eastern country, and America, which is in Western country. Let's take a look. So that was the example of individualism and collectivism. Uh, just just like what you say, when individualism, people is often alone or doing something work on own their own self, and they learn to know people for their help, or they don't ask other people to solve their own problems. They solve it themselves, they solve it itself. And some individualism believe that uh, individual need is set more important than rather than uh, a group of society. Meanwhile, in the other hand, collectivism, just like in the video, it talk about uh, to combine the power of group of people to work together to achieve goals together. Usually, that group of people have one goal and they working their bonds into to the heart, helping each other, and often that goals can be achieved fastly and more efficiently, because if there's more people gonna work on the same problem, then that problem is gonna be uh, solved really quickly and even efficient rather than individualism. And that's some of the example. Next, the theory that I'm using for individualism versus collectivism is the Hofstede culture dimension theory. What is it? It is actually a framework used to understand the differences in culture across country and the ways that business is done across different cultures. So, in other words, the framework is used to distinguish between different national culture, the dimension of culture, their impact on efficiency, and so facilitate communication in areas ranging from business to diplomacy. So that's all that I got, and here's the reference that I'm using in this PowerPoint. So that is, guys, my explanation of culture. Sorry if I make a mistake by saying a wrong word. I feel truly sorry. So just that's it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.